Hey guys, welcome back to Melbourne Vibe. When I came to Melbourne, when I came to Australia, the one most important thing that I was looking for is somebody tell me what are the things that I should look for before renting an apartment or a house in Australia. So in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys what are the things that you should look out for before renting an apartment or a house in Australia. So, check it out. Before we get into the video, I have to tell you this. One of our members on Melbourne Vibe Study in Australia Facebook group reached out to us and told us that 6 of them made friends on that group and now they're planning to live together because all of them are coming to Australia in July 2018. So guys, if you haven't joined Melbourne Vibe Study in Australia Facebook group, join so that you can make some friends. You can know some people who are going to come to Australia, make some friends before you come to Australia. Moving on to our video. Number 1 is you have to check whether your name is on the lease or not. Now this is not hard and fast. You don't necessarily need your name on the lease, but if you have your name on the lease, there are 2 benefits. 1, nobody can kick you out unless the lease gets over because your name is on the lease, and second, that you will start building your credit history. What is credit history? Credit history is something that when you want to buy a phone on a loan or you want a loan, any kind of loan, even after 5, 6, 7 years of living in Australia, credit history is something that banks or government checks to make sure that you are somebody who pays the bills, who pays the rent on time, and if your credit history is good, you get the loans and everything quite well and easily. So if you're planning to live in Australia for a long period of time, I would suggest that if you can get your name on the lease, do that, because that is going to build your credit history. Another important thing is that if something goes wrong at all between friends or anything and you had a fight, I just hope that you don't, but if at all, then if somebody threatens you to move out of the house and if your name is on the lease, nobody can touch you. So if you're going to live with strangers, make sure that you may have your name on the lease. Having said that, if your name is not on the lease, don't worry at all. In fact, my name is not on the lease, but if your name is not on the lease, which means that you don't have to be abided by the contract, which is of 6 months or a year that you have to live in that house. So you can move out, you can just, put an ad on Gumtree.com or anywhere and ask somebody else to move in. So which means that you are not abided to live there for whatever is the leasing period. So if your name is not on the lease, don't worry at all because it's not such a big deal. It's just to have your name on the lease is kind of better. Number 2, that is proximity from the public transport. Now what that means is how far is your house from the public transport. Public transport means either buses, trams or train stops. So you need your house near to these stops so that you can transport easily. Generally when people get a house and it's 2 or 3 kilometers away from public transport, which means that they have to start walking 20 minutes and then get the bus. If they miss the bus, it's gone. Like their 2 hours of their day is wasted. So guys, just search for a house which is near to public transport so it's easier for you guys to transport. Which brings me to number 3, which is whether you should live near the university or away from the university. Now it generally doesn't matter. What you have to see is how many days you have to go to the university. If you have to go to the university for 4 or 5 days in 1 week, which means that you want a house which is near to the university so you don't waste time commuting every day. But for example, you're smart and you have chosen your subjects only 2 days out of 5 days, which means that you have to go to university only 2 days. In that case, you can live in the city, near the city, or even away from your university because you have to go to your universities only 2 days in the whole week. So that doesn't matter. So if you want to live in the city but you're afraid that your university is too far from the city, then don't worry, just choose your subjects carefully. Moving on to number 4. What you have to see is whether your rent is inclusive of bills or exclusive of bills. What that means is that you will be paying 4 bills, which is water bill, electricity bill, gas bill and Wi-Fi. So you have to see that if you're paying 150, 200 or 250 a week, whether your gas, electricity, Wi-Fi and other bills are inclusive. Moving on to number 5, when you're going to look out for rents, you have to see that what is the rent going on in that area. Why I'm telling you this is because a lot of people are paying $250 a week for a very tiny room. Now that's a rip-off. So you want to do your research. If you're planning to live in, let's say, X area, then see different rooms, different houses, and what are their rents. Now where you can look this? Either you can look this on gumtree.com.au or realestate.com.au. These two are the most famous websites for renting a house. So don't forget to do your due diligence. So the next one is that you want to research about your areas. Melbourne or Sydney or all the cities are definitely safe, but some of the areas are less safe and other areas are more safe. The further you go out of the city, the safety slightly decreases. So you want to research about the area that you're going to live in. So don't forget to read about the area, the incidents, and ask people around whether this area is good or not. And the last thing is you want to check what kind of lifestyle do you want. If you want a very happening lifestyle, you want to live in the city, which is CBD, or the first suburbs, so that you get bars and pubs all night on the weekends. If you don't want such happening life, then you definitely should look for living in the suburbs, because not only the rent will be less, but the life is going to be very quiet and peaceful. That's it for today, guys. Hope you loved the video and found it helpful. Don't forget to share it with all your friends so that they can get the house that they want to live in. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, and don't forget to give us a huge thumbs up. Welcome to Melbourne Vibe.